Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA stock. Let's go over what is happening to the stock on what was a good start to the day into a not so good finish to the day. And I'll give you my thoughts moving forward on it, moving really forward in general on the stock and the market itself, etc. But yeah, as per usual, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, if you do enjoy my technical analysis, my thoughts on the charts, etc., I do share my thoughts on the charts with my members every single day the market is open in my YouTube membership down below in the description of the video. It's there. It's the first link. Let's check it out. For just $3 a month, I give my thoughts, posts, updates, etc. on Tesla stock, mainly, sometimes other stocks, like today's Apple, for instance. I shared Apple. Every single day, the market is open for just $3 a month. Or for $5 a month, you get access to my thoughts on whatever I just said. Sorry, my thoughts were something else. On everything I just said, plus NVIDIA daily updates as well in my YouTube membership. But jumping into it, Tesla. NVIDIA closing the day down about 2%, which, is a little bit more painful than it is because we were actually up a little bit more than that. I think at the peak of the day, we were up almost 2% just to close down 2%. So pretty much a 4% swing to the downside from peak to trough. It is what it is sometimes, right? And we had that nice little gap up based off of TSM's earnings. Speaking of TSM, very quickly, curious to see how it actually ended up closing the day. Yeah, it also sold off most of the day. But TSM earnings came out, obviously a bit of a miss, but a bit of a beat too. I mean, it did gap up and it is still ultimately up 4%. But apparently, I'll have to look into it, but apparently they had good things to say about NVIDIA, which I'm not surprised, let's be honest here. But all that being said, the price action usually tells the story. So what does this mean for NVIDIA? Well, remember how I mentioned how NVIDIA had that bearish stochastic crossover and we've been kind of selling off since? And yeah, we had this nice little bounce, but we're having issues finding our footing. And what I mentioned about the sell-off or about the stochastic bearish crossover is the fact that it doesn't have to completely and utterly crash. Like, yeah, we did sell off, but yeah, that's not a crash, right? All that could also mean is the fact that, we just won't really ultimately go anywhere just yet. And it'll take time to ramp up. It'll take time for the stock to kind of find its footing, right? That's exactly what we're doing. We're essentially we're kind of just finding our footing, right? We're just sort of finding our footing right here, just letting things sort of digest and, we're kind of vibing it out. I don't want to use these kind of terms because it sounds almost amateur, but we're just kind of vibing it out right now. We're chilling, we're letting the base form, etc. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. But the thing is as we're doing all this, right, the stochastic is well on its way back down to levels where, yeah, we can start looking for potential curling action to exist or to form, I should say, and for us to finally get a more convincing reversal structure being formed. And that's essentially what I'm still expecting on NVIDIA, right? So pretty much, it remains as follows, right? I still want to see NVIDIA pretty much, ideally, I do want to see a close above 134 tomorrow, which really isn't that much higher from here. It's only about 40 cents from here. But I do want to see NVIDIA close above $134 per share tomorrow. That'll be ideal, right? Now, obviously, worst case scenario, we'll make our way back down in here again, pretty much into the low 130s or like the extremely high 120s, like 128/9, probably even 129 to be completely honest with you. But that is, the levels that I do want to hold. I don't want to lose those levels. That'd be really, really not ideal. And it could be a false bear trap, of course. Sorry, not a false bear trap, a literal bear trap. But, I wouldn't. It would be more ideal if we don't have to deal with that kind of situation, right? Anyway, so, as long as we hold this general vicinity down here, it's still obviously good. The bulls still have control, etc., etc., etc. But as long as we can hold above at least 134 and close at least above 134 tomorrow, that would be a little bit more, slightly more convincing because, the weekly chart, I will admit, is starting to look, this is why I want to close above 134 ideally, but like the higher the better, of course, because this weekly chart is kind of starting to show things that I'm not a big fan of. I'll be completely honest with you, right? And that is going to be because, every single time, ever since, we had this breakout right here on this candle, every single time any of these weekly candles came into this general range, it's obviously bounced and, it's closed back above that range. This weekly candle is starting to look like it's taking this range and turning it now back into a resistance. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the weekly candle close like that. So that's why I want to see NVIDIA close at least in the 134s, ideally higher, to see that, we're still closing within this range. It's not turning into a resistance, and we're still good to go, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So let's see how it closes tomorrow. I think that would be, that could be pretty important of a tell. Again, I do want to hold above that. We also have the 21 email, which is the bottom of this green cloud, also sitting at about 132 and change. So again, essentially tomorrow's goal, close above 134 at least. And again, the higher, the better. Even, 135, even better. 136, that's fantastic, right? I don't know if we'll get that, but that's kind of the goal for tomorrow, right? And it'll make the chart a little bit more palatable, I guess you can say, for the bulls, because again, if we close pretty much at or below the level we are literally right now, so 133 or lower ultimately, and that's where we close the weekly candle tomorrow, it's not over. It's not, it's not the end of the world or anything like that, right? It's, we're still fine. It's just less convincing of a fine scenario, right? The bulls will need to have a little bit more work cut out for them, in my opinion, because, again, maybe we're turning this area back into a resistance, which is not what you want to be seeing as a bull. Anyways, so that's probably my main thing I'll be looking out for NVIDIA tomorrow. The issue tomorrow also is the fact that it is OPEX week, right? It is a week that's, it is going to be a day, especially tomorrow, where, we could see some volatility. We have a lot of options usually expiring, right? It's always like that middle Friday of each month, essentially, right? So in this case, obviously it is Friday the 17th, right? Like for instance, next Friday or next month, it'll probably be the 14th of February, right? So usually like the middle Friday, right? March 14th. It'll probably be one of those days, right? That kind of middle month Friday is usually when a lot of options expire, because that's usually when everyone buys options for and sells options for, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's usually the most common dates. So, you usually get some volatility, a lot more heightened volatility during those times. So watch for that tomorrow. If, price action looks a little bit weird, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But ultimately, I don't think it's looking bad, though. I still don't think it's looking bad, because ultimately on the daily, despite the weekly, having some suspicious looking situations forming, as long as we continue holding this overall uptrend, well, it's an uptrend, right? I assume the uptrend will remain an uptrend, pretty simply put. So that's going to be my current assumption. No reason to assume otherwise until proven otherwise. But yeah, that's what I got for you. So let me know what you think down below, ladies and gentlemen. Take a quick look at options flow, of course, as per usual. And to the upside, I should mention, I haven't talked about the upside much, because I don't think we'll get there yet. I think that'll probably be next week, if we get it at all, after the inauguration. By the way, Monday market is closed. 140, 141. That's the level that needs to get recaptured. We need to recapture 140, 141 on NVIDIA. Everything below that, is noise. So pretty much anything below 140, 141 and above 133, 134, I do view as choppy noise. So yeah, keep that in mind. But anyways, moving into it, NVIDIA, actually, I believe it's confirmed bullish flow. Not a lot though. Yeah, it's only 20 million, but hey, it's not, better than nothing, right? Better than nothing. So we'll take that. Sometimes, you take what you can get. In terms of options flow, the bulls are stepping in, man. The bulls are absolutely stepping in. We have some nice solid leaps coming in. Over 14 million in leaps came in on NVIDIA, pretty much exactly a year out from today, really, right? Exactly a year out, 140 strike, which is out of the money, above the ask. So clearly someone with $14 million to drop on a 1-year leap, hey, they're feeling pretty good about NVIDIA. They're feeling pretty damn good. So let's see how that plays out. But overall, the bulls are still stepping in. They're not giving up on the stock. They're buying the dip, man. They are buying the dip. There's no question about that. So let's see if this, results into something worthwhile for the bulls, I guess you can say. But yeah, we definitely want to hold 134 roughly. We definitely want to break 140, 141. Everything in between that, those two levels, is just choppy noise. So keep that in mind. Don't get chopped. Don't get whiplashed. This is why I don't trade options. In terms of buying options, I sell options. I don't buy options. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down below. See you tomorrow. Peace.